Before and now. A change. What should we do under a new normal? Let's get to know more from the chief executive of the country's summer capital.
Joining us in this special edition of All You Need to Know with SunStar Baguio is Baguio City Mayor Banjamin Magalong to talk to us about the new normal. First of all, Mayor, with everything that's happening, how are you and your family?
Oh, we're doing okay. By the way, I would like to greet everyone a constructive, day, Wednesday, and wish to welcome our SunStar reporters to City Hall. Thank you.
Well, let's get on with it, Mayor, because this is a very important topic. The first thing that we should discuss, I think, is the sector of health. Can you give us an overview of the status of the city regarding health?
Okay, first of all, I would like to inform you that we have a total of 31 cases. For the past 18 days, we have no positive case. Until yesterday, we're in one particular positive patient who came from Manila sometime in late April. And when we just got the result yesterday that he tested positive for COVID-19. So we have a total of 31 cases now. And of the 31 cases, we have 3 that are confined. 27 have practically recovered. And we have only one fatality because that person had an underlying condition. She had tuberculosis. So it's a total of 31. Yesterday was the most number of patients that were discharged. We have 9 patients, all health workers were discharged yesterday. So it was a good day yesterday.
Well, that is good news. But regarding the test kits,
Oh, the test kits. We continue to have some issues with the test kits because of our limited capability on testing. As of yesterday, the total number of pending specimens to be subjected to PCR test is around 1,700. And we're just fortunate enough that about 3 days ago we received about 6,000 test kits from DOH. But again, that is not enough to cover practically the entire northern Luzon. So looking at the latest figures, we received around 17,000 test kits so far for the entire northern Luzon as of this day. So that is the reason why I would like to say that we continue to experience limited testing capability for the entire northern Luzon.
and what is the city's prediction regarding mass testing in the city?
Unless we'll be able to procure sufficient number of PCR test kits to include consumables, then that's the only time that we'll be able to launch our extensive testing, mass testing. But insofar as rapid test is concerned, we're very fortunate enough that we just received a donation of 3,000 rapid test kits 3 days ago. And this morning, I was again able to secure another 1,000 from a donor from Manila. So we have a total of 4,000 rapid test kits. Good to cover all the contact tracing activities and operations that we're doing at the moment.
Well, since you mentioned contact tracing, Mayor Benji, there are also other countries, they have developed apps that can do contact tracing.
Yes.
In the city, do we have any measures in regards to contact tracing that have been improved?
Okay, I would like to inform our Baguio residents that insofar as contact tracing is concerned, we're becoming a model local government unit because second week into our ECQ, we were able to immediately come up with our own contact tracing system using technology, two types of technology. This is a GIS platform, and the other is using the use of an analytical tool. And the third is we were able to immediately capacitate our health workers and come up with an organization wherein both health workers and police investigators go together, partner, to conduct the contact tracing operations.
Well, as the GCQ is approaching, everyone is on the edge of their seat, since it's going to be lifted on the 16th. And the number one question I think that everyone's asking is about the operations of the business establishments in the city. What are the guidelines that the measures in the city has planned for the city?
Okay, for the past 1 month, almost 4 weeks, we have been engaging several sectors. That includes business sector, transportation sector, in construction industries, including people from the media, our creative sector. Anytime this week, I'll be meeting again with the people who are involved in the sports industry. And we were able to come up with a consensus building on what would be the specific guidelines. But these guidelines should be aligned with the national guideline on GCQ. As we have finally received the news that on May 16, we will now exit from ECQ and get into general community quarantine. So we have already prepared for that. We have a transition plan for that. In fact, the transition plan is already here with me with a few modifications and amendments. But basically, we have stipulated therein what types of businesses will open. Just to give you an idea, we're going to ease up on construction. That will be the first industry that we're going to open up. It will be a calibrated, a gradual, sequential action for the city of Baguio. It's not a sudden opening up of all the, of all the sectors. So we're going to start with the construction sector, and then we'll open up all the allied sector. Other industries that will be supporting our construction industry. To be very specific about it, we're talking about transportation. We need to ease up on transportation. At the moment, every day, only around 100 plus, 120 plus jeepneys, PUJs are roaming around the city, and around 60 plus taxis. Now, what we're going to do is probably start with 10% of the total number of taxis and PUJs for the first day. And to be, when you say 10%, that's around 480 jeepneys that will be re-injected in the city for the first day of GCQ to support our construction industry, because we expect the number of workers to significantly increase during the first day. In fact, we have already approved the applications of 12 construction projects, and we expect to approve more of these construction projects in the next few days. And at the same time, we're also going to ease up on several business establishments. Restaurants will be allowed to open. Certain parlors and parlors and barbershops will be allowed to open. Electrical supplies, auto shops. We have actually stipulated a list of business establishments that will be allowed to open. Some of them will be allowed to open for 6 days. Definitely, Sunday will always be considered as a general lockdown day, except for senior citizens and PWDs. We're giving them that day. It is a special day for our senior citizens, so that they don't have to, compete with market goers and other workers during the weekdays. So Sunday would be a special day for them. That also covers our PWDs. Going over this guideline and scheduling that we have developed or crafted, we're also going to open other businesses like agricultural supplies, veterinary clinics. We have already started opening our medical and dental clinics. Garment will also be open, but they will only be allowed to be open 3 times a week. Office supply will also be open. Electronic stores, IT supply stores will also be open. So newspaper stands, we're going to allow them to put up their newspaper stands. But just would like to emphasize that we will continue to adhere strictly to health standards and conditions. And when I say standards, we're talking about observance of social distancing, physical distancing, the wearing of masks, and hygiene practices like a regular washing of hands.
So since there is an easing of the opening of business establishments, what does this mean for leisure activities and the tourism sector of the city?
For the meantime, those are our last priorities, because when you say we're going to ease up or open our tourism industry, that means we're inviting visitors from the lowlands, and unless things normalize, especially in Manila, we just can't simply allow tourists to come into the city of Baguio. So we will continue to be very strict in our borders. And that's the reason why during the first week of our GCQ, we will not allow tourists to come here to the city of Baguio. We still have a lot of things to consider. One is we have to resolve our OFWs, because we still expect a surge in the arrival of OFWs. Then the next is we have to, deal with our RBRs, our returning Baguio residents. And again, that's a big, huge number. We're looking at around 20,000 RBRs. So we still have to deal with them, make sure that they have to undergo through the process. Like they have to go upon arrival in the city of Baguio, they have to go through the triage. So when you go to the triage, it will take for one particular person around 15 minutes. Can you just imagine? If you allow everyone to just simply come up to Baguio, can you just imagine the long lines, the traffic? That would be a huge problem, and that's the reason why for returning Baguio resident, we came up with a system wherein you have to register. It's just like applying for a visa, wherein you will be given a schedule when you will be coming up to the city of Baguio.
So in regards of the transportation, Mayor Benji, does the 50% or at least the load of the jeepneys, do they still stand?
That would be the new normal. That would be one of the new normals that you will see in the city of Baguio. We'll continue to observe the 50% capacity for all public utility vehicles. Yes.
With regards to the subsidy that is given for these drivers around the city.
Yes. During the ECQ stage, we decided to provide a subsidy of about 300 person per jeepney per day. And every day we're subsidizing around 120 plus jeepneys every day. But because of the surge in the number of jeepneys during the GCQ, we would be increasing this number to around 480. Can you just imagine how much, what would be the cost of subsidizing all of this? But yesterday during our meeting in the management committee, we decided that we will just peg the subsidy amount to 20 million for GCQ. So in short, pag naubos na yung 20 million, then we stop the subsidy. Because we can only afford 20 million because we have a lot of things. We still have a stimulus package for MSMEs and heavily impacted sector. Just like media, we are setting aside some funds for the media, for sports, for our creative artists, for other types of businesses. This will be part of the stimulus package. Initially, we'll have 100, and out of that 100, 20 million will be allotted for public transportation.
Well,
So-
regards to the funds, Mayor Benji,
We have
regarding
funds.
the
We have
SAT,
funds. We were able to secure 100 from previous appropriations and unimplemented appropriations. And now we're still looking for an additional 100 million. So we're looking at around 200 million to support our stimulus package program.
And also moving on to the agriculture sector, what about the trade of vegetables between the city and the neighboring towns?
We don't have any problems with the movement of vegetables. And besides, you should understand that Baguio City is not an agricultural area. It's a highly urbanized city. Probably we have around 10% of our entire area devoted to agriculture, but our production is very limited. We rely heavily on Benguet as a source of our vegetables. But the good news is that we allow smooth passage of vegetables in and out of the city of Baguio, and at the same time from Benguet to Manila. So we don't see any issue, with the present setup that we're having with regards to movements of goods and essential items.
And also, I think everyone wants to know about the situation of education in the city.
Okay. One is, if you remember, I officially declared that there will be no classes in the month of May. So we're almost done with May, and soon I'll be declaring that there will be no classes, there will be no resumption of classes in the month of June and July, except probably for English second language schools, ESL schools. But again, there will be a guideline. We have issued that guideline for the opening of ES schools, but the basic guideline would be a strict observance of health standards and conditions.
And also the students, there are a number of students who are clamoring for going home to their provinces and balik provincia. How is the city dealing with this?
Okay, right now we're closely coordinating with the destination, the local government unit that, the destination of these stranded students in the city of Baguio. We cannot simply allow them to go to the city without the proper coordination. Otherwise, some of the local government units, some municipalities do not accept students coming from the city of Baguio. And most of the time, they decline accepting these stranded students. Instead, they order them to go back to the city of Baguio. So we would like to prevent that. That's the reason why every time we have requests from students or from groups to go to a specific province, what we do in the city is we coordinate with the local government unit and communicate with them if they are going to accept these stranded students or workers.
And for the city in general, what are the measures that we have adopted in ECQ and will stay for the general duration of the GCQ until
A
the end?
24-hour curfew will be in effect. Same with the market schedule. We're not going to change the market schedule. Every barangay will only be allowed to go to the market twice every week. Sunday will still be a general lockdown day. Those are probably the main guidelines that we will continue to implement from ECQ to GCQ.
With regards to coordinating with other local government units, how does Baguio City coordinate with the neighboring mandate of Benguet Province?
Okay, what we usually do is for our CDR-RMO to coordinate with the provincial CDR-RMO or the municipal CDR-RMO. And or I personally talk to the mayor. Let us say if we see that there's a substantial number of students or workers or stranded residents that would like to go home to the provinces, and they need, high-capacity vehicles, then I personally coordinate or talk to the mayor. So those are the, those are the framework that we follow, especially in, allowing stranded students when they intend to go home to their provinces.
So it's been a really challenging 2.5 months, Mayor Benji, but what is the lesson that we as a city and as a society that we have learned from this pandemic?
One is, we learn so much about, how to manage crisis. Second is, this is something new to us, and so we're learning from it, and we're learning a lot from this COVID-19 crisis, especially in managing people's expectations. Second is how to manage the different sectors. Third is how to make sure that you provide all the needs of our residents and stranded workers and students in the city of Baguio. Fourth is it gives us a better idea on how to really manage the COVID situation as a whole. We closely work with the health authorities and the other national government agencies to make sure that we continue to provide the basic needs of our residents. Third is we were able to improve our system of contact tracing, because that is actually one of the key elements in the fight against COVID-19. We learned that there's no way we will be able to, local government will be able to address this without interagency, coordination and collaboration. We also learned that we won't be able to successfully implement all our guidelines without the cooperations of the community. We also learned that there are a lot of members of the private sector are really civic-minded and have a strong sense of social responsibility. So a lot of good things are coming out in the city of Baguio. But you should understand that in every crisis, the worst and the best in people, you can see the worst and the best in people. And one good thing about the city, in the city of Baguio, is that most of the time we see the best in people.
All right. So lastly, Mayor Benji, what is your message to the city of Baguio as we move forward?
Okay. First thing is I would like to express my profound thanks to the residents of Baguio as a whole. One is I would like to thank our partners in the private sector for all their donations, for their inspiring messages, for the motivations. Second is I would like to thank our community for cooperating with us, and for being patient and for strictly following our guidelines, especially when it comes to lockdowns and following rules and procedures in our public market. Third is, and foremost is, I would like to thank our frontliners. I would like to thank our health workers. I would like to thank our Philippine National Police, our members of the Reserve Command, members of the military who have been out there, risking their life, sacrificing for their courage and bravery, even sacrificing the health of their family. I give them my salute. You are our inspirations. You are our saviors. Maraming salamat sa inyo.
Alright, so for more updates, visit us at our website at sunstar.com.ph/Baguio and follow us on our social media accounts. Till next time, this is Conway Copas, reminding you to grab an e-copy of SunStar Baguio, the only daily newspaper in Northern Luzon. And that's all you need to know with SunStar Baguio.